What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with, as promised, well, kind of as voted on, or I did ask a few subscribers to let me know in the comments if you were keen to see the Urabrask brew. And I know we had a mono red deck yesterday, but this one is not budget at all. This is definitely a pretty good competitive mono red deck featuring a full playset of Urabrask. And so without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Calling it Automabrask. It is again another automaton, Patchwork Automaton deck, but definitely quite different from yesterday's one. So I'll take it from the top. I'll describe the deck for you guys from left to right. I'll try and explain to you why it is that I've picked the cards, how it is that they synergize with the other cards in the deck, and what some of the various playlines and interactions might be that you'll come across during your typical game. Then we'll jump into some gameplay footage, hopefully get to illustrate all of those playlines and interactions for you guys against some opponents, and then we'll jump back in at the end with my final thoughts, overall deck review, and if we do make some adjustments along the way, then that's usually when I like to talk about them. So stick around. We've got a full playset of Ancestral Anger, which is a sweet little one-drop that gives our thing that we want to give trample to, trample. And you would want to play a full playset of these because the more of them that are in your graveyard, the bigger the X value is. So creature gets trample plus X plus O, where X is the number 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. Added extra upside, you also get to draw a card, which is really, really nice. So alongside our channel ability from the Reinforced Ronin and the additional card draw that we get essentially off of the Urabrask, there's actually quite a bit of card advantage in a deck, in a color that doesn't often have too much of it, just, pure draw cards. Usually in red, you have to draw discards, so quite nice. Then, and of course, giving trample to our automaton when it's equipped with the lizard blades, amazing. Giving trample to our big Thundering Raiju or to our Urabrask, amazing. Just for 1 mana, plus the card draw. I think this one's being slept on a little bit. If it was instant speed, whew, would be even better. But still, really, really nice. The alternative here, which I had considered, is another card that I think it hasn't been played enough, and I need to consider looking at in the next couple of brews, is Lunar Frenzy, where you can just dump X into the casting cost and give the creature trample and first strike. Pretty nice, but you don't get the card draw, so I kind of opted for the Ancestral Anger instead. Then we've got full playset of the Goldhound, making a comeback from last night's brew. It's an artifact creature, so it'll trigger our automaton, and it can tap to add 1 mana of any color when you sacrifice it, which can help us ramp a little bit into our bigger plays. So it makes perfect sense. The alternative here might have been something like the Rabbit Battery or whatever, but I just quite like the fact that it is also potentially mana because it's a treasure dog. Then we've gone for the Reinforced Ronin because we've got a much less artifacts in the deck to trigger the automaton compared to last night's brew where pretty much everything was an artifact. Here there's only 3 different artifacts other than the automaton itself that can help it grow. So the fact that the Reinforced Ronin can be recast over and over again is really, really good to just consistently every turn grow the automaton, whether you can attack with it or not. And it's also just a great early game, like put a bit of pressure on, and then if it gets to that point where you need to draw a card, you can just channel it away and draw a card. Really, really nice. Then we've gone for a full playset of Spikefield Hazard because I've dropped the number of lands down to 20, but with the MDFCs, that's back up to 24, and it's just plenty of nice targets for the Hazard right now, and as well as it being able to go face, which can sometimes end games, is pretty cool. So instead of something like Play with Fire, or yesterday we had the Voltage Surge, I don't really have any artifacts that I want to sacrifice to Voltage Surge, and Play with Fire doesn't double as a land. So Spikefield Hazard this time around. Let's see how it performs. Then we've got Cammy's Flare as our second removal spell. There's quite a bit of modifying going on between the Automaton, potentially equipping Lizard Blades onto things, the Thundering Raiju modifying stuff. There's quite a lot of modified stuff going on, so Kami's Flare is just great because of that extra little bit of reach. 3 damage for 2 mana is pretty much normal, but then being able to do an additional 2 damage to the opponent as well is just really, really nice. And I like that it can target creatures or planeswalkers. Then we've gone for the Blizzard Blades over the Ogrehead Helm, because we've got enough other little bits and bobs of card advantage, namely the Urabrask, which we're getting to. So we don't need the Ogrehead Helm, and I'd rather just get the double strike and give something trample with double strike, and that's, you know, game-ending stuff. Then the Automaton, it's just a great 2-drop, and mono red, other than the Adversary, there aren't too many good 2-drops in mono red, so the Automaton is just filling a real nice spot in these mono red decks, in my opinion, right now. And yeah, nothing really more I need to add about this card. We've already seen it a lot, especially in yesterday's video, so I won't bore you with a full re-explanation. Just the Ward 2 is fantastic. Then we've got Heated Debate. I'm playing this card more and more and more and more. Gets through the ward ability, so you can just kill a Rafine that turn it enters the battlefield without paying the ward cost. And it also hits on things like Goldspan Dragon. Again, usually Goldspan Dragon players will like rely on the treasure that you generate when you target it to have mana for a counter spell. So this can't be countered, so you can get rid of the Goldspan Dragon. Also great against things like the Righteous Valkyrie, which also has 4 toughness. So just lots of nice targets for the Heated Debate right now. And it's instant speed. I like it. So we've got a full playset of Heated Debate. So it's Spikefield Hazard, Kami's Flare, Heated Debate, removal spells of choice in the deck. It's been doing the job just fine. Then we've got full playset of Thundering Raiju, which just makes perfect sense. It's probably the best 4-drop in red right now. It's really can pump out loads of damage. If it sits on the board for just a couple of turns, you got a couple of things that are modified, you start modifying your other things with it. Really nice. And which finally brings us to the main card of the deck, which I'm trying to showcase. And I did mention this in yesterday's video in the bonus footage towards the end. There's many ways that this can be played. I'm thinking of more like prison decks, maybe in Teamer colors, play all the Praetors, get creative with that. I've got a few ideas brewing, but those will have to be for another video. As far as in mono red, I think the most obvious thing is just the fact that it gives you essentially an additional draw, and with a very low to the ground deck like this, where you've got lots of stuff, you're almost always going to be able to cast the card that it exiles off the top of your library, and you also get to draw. So you draw and exile, so you get 2 things to do every turn with mono red, which is just fantastic. And there's loads of great things that you could just get off of that at the beginning of your turn, you know, an Ancestral Anger or just another removal piece or whatever. So it's really nice. And the opponent only gets to exile a card off the top of their library at the beginning of their turn. They don't get to draw, so it can just gum up a bit the opponent's situation there. They might force them to make some suboptimal plays, and you know, that might be to your advantage. But as well as it being just a nice hasty 4/4, if you've already got Thundering Raiju in play the turn before, then you play Urabrask, you attack in, give the Urabrask a counter, hasty 5/5. Really quite nice. So yeah, I don't think you want to be playing like 3 or 2, because you'll never freaking find the thing. This way we're guaranteed to find it almost every single game, and it is a massive removal target, especially because it's new and flashy and it's a Phyrexian. The opponents just go for the Vanishing Verse or whatever. They try to get rid of it straight away. So just having multiple copies to just potentially cast on the very next turn or whatever is the way I want to be playing this card. So even though it's legendary, we've gone for a full playset of Urabrask. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, the next time they would draw a card this turn, instead, they exile the top card of the library. They may play it this turn. Then, as far as the mana base goes, we've gone a little bit more heavy on the creature lands, because it's definitely one of the win cons here. We needed some extra reach in red, so we've gone for 3 dens instead of yesterday's 2, 15 mountains, and 2 crucibles. That's the deck. Let's jump into some games. This one is definitely ladder ready, so we won't be playing in unranked. Elf Simulator. Wow, my rank has been dropping so much testing jank. It's been real fun though. Okay, we're low on lands, but we can do it, and the 2 patchworks are just too good to give up on. Squirrels. Interesting. Can play the Ronin and then Cammy's Flare. Or start getting these automatons rolling before we try and remove some stuff. Can potentially just Cammy's Flare and Hazard the shakedown heavy. Is this going to be a fight rigging deck? Is it going to be our friend? Oh wow, that was stupid. Okay. Disgusting.
Join me. Or die. You work for me now, runt.
Okay.
Consider this your initiation to my crew.
I think that was pretty stupid though. I don't see why you would want to ultimate him straight away. Like, he has to discard stuff now, he's lost a bunch of life. Stupid, stupid. Really dumb. Okay, cool. No problems. Bye-bye.
How dare you destroy what I've built?
Whoops. Why would you want to ultimate that guy straight away like that? I just don't get it. Lose 7, draw a bunch of cards, sure. Woo. Who cares? No problems. We're just gonna probably... If we top deck one more land, we can Lizard Blades and Ancestral Anger. Let me do it, please. Nice. Game 1 victory there. Pretty interesting way of getting that 7 power straight away. I was expect. I mean, there's obviously like multiple things he was going for there. The the shakedown heavy fight rigging combo, but that was pretty cool. I like that, but I don't like Obnixilis, so you won't see me doing that on the channel. It's good, obviously. The feeling when they get that double planeswalkers on turn 3 and start discarding your hand and stuff is pretty meh, but it's not as good as people initially thought. I win many of my games against that card. Walker John. Okay. I'll keep it because there's an automaton, but we've got nothing to grow it with, so But I like the removal, and then Raiju is fantastic. We just need one more land. We'll probably draw a couple of artifacts between now and the Raiju. If not, we can just remove some things and try and draw the game out a little bit more. I want to cast an Urabrask a few times, if possible, during tonight's gameplay footage. That's the card we're trying to show off tonight. Get your guys' brewing juices a-flowing with the new Praetor. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. Like, what have you been doing with Urabrask? I haven't seen much of it on the ladder at all. I think people are still just trying to figure out what the best way to play it is. But so far, I want to say it's the least powerful of the Phyrexians we have access to. There he is. Sorry, you can't burn my patchwork with your... Aha. Oh, lovely. Just lovely. Please give me a land. Please give me a land. Probably just be Tovalar and we can... Okay, okay. Okay, do we just swing? Or do we kill it? Or we could just play a Praetor off of the Goldhound. I think we go with this option. You could have the... What's it called? The 1 mana snow burn spell. Could have taken out my Raiju, but we had to grow the Patchwork if we wanted to do the double swing there. Man, now it could just be... Blizzard Brawl. Cannot wait for that card to rotate. Woo! Okay, I love it when you do that. Nice. That's game. Baby, baby. Hey, we got to cast him, but we didn't get to do the thing, you know, the extra card turn on our turn. But still, just haste, giving it the counter with the Raiju. Boom, boom, boom. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Mono Red is in a good place right now. There's lots of ways you can build it. The only thing, like I mentioned in the introduction, the 2-drops are a bit weak. There needs to be like a really nice 2-drop coming in the next set for Mono Red that will just take it over the top. Definitely not amazing. Tons of removal. Vanishing Burst. I love it when you waste it on my stupid, like, cheap-ass nonsense. Nothing? Okay, good game, good game. It's probably gonna have Banishing Verse number 2. They always do somehow. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's enough good games now. We're gonna have to face the, I don't know, this is a bad matchup. We're gonna have to deal with freaking you know what? Wandering Emperor. In case we top deck Urabrask. I'm okay with that. Oh. Enough with the good games already, mate. Mute. Maybe it's another, what's his face deck? Mr. You know who. I forget I said anything. I was so sure he would block there. In case we get hit by a sweeper. I was gonna say it might be another one of these Obnix. There it is. Wedding announcement is so good. Okay. Stuff it. Has to like triple block to do anything relevant here. What is this? What is going on? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Ugh, I hate this card so much. You have got to be shitting me, dude. What a joke. That card is so annoying. I cannot wait for Vanishing Verse to just leave the format. It's ruining my life, man. Doesn't make it fun for me anymore. And they somehow always have like 2 or 3 in the top 10 of their library. Somehow. Little salty lone fox action for you guys. Vanishing Verse, man. So dumb. And like we all knew, the moment it came out in spoiler season, it was like, oh gosh, this is gonna be a thing. Kotola. Mr. Kotola. Interesting. Depending on what we top deck, we'll either play the Spikefield as a land. Ah, kill. Doesn't matter. Buzz off. Blood Chief's Thirst would do it now. He has the 2 ward to pay. Here it comes. No? Nice. Might be a shakedown heavy next turn though. We've got the heated debate to deal with it straight away the moment it enters the battlefield though, which he does not see. He's thinking this won't kill my shakedown heavy because it's got 3 damage. Okay. That's fine. Land, please. Wrong land, right land. Oh, baby! Can't play that. You don't have the lands for it. Now you do. But we have Cammy's Flare. So close.
Under my vampire, not you, can deal with my servant.
It's the perfect card to draw. Good game. Booyakasha. perfect. Just perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to happen for this video. Like, to show you guys how you often just get like a nice little one drop that you can play straight away and an additional card. And putting the opponent in a situation there where he maybe had something else to do and he was forced to play the Sorin because he was too scared of it being exiled, you know? So perfect. I think we're just going to leave it at that then. Like, got to show off all of the play lines and interactions. We played every single card in the deck. All the various win cons we played with. I don't want to jinx it and run into a loss. Also, it is getting very late, and I do need to get some beauty sleep, so we'll just leave it at that. Automabrask. What do you think about Urabrask here in this deck? I think it's a pretty sweet little brew I've got going. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. We could maybe just like trim a Spikefield Hazard or two and go for like Shatter Skull Smashing, but we don't have that much lands to play with. It's not the type of deck where we really like want to be paying big X numbers and playing Shatter Skulls. So I think the Spikefield is the way to go. What do you think about the Heater debate as a choice for a removal spell right now in the format? I think it's really, really good. Yeah, overall, just fantastic. Unfortunate game 3 there against that weird guy who just wouldn't shut up with the good games, but we were close to getting a win, but we're still able to equip a Lizard Blades and give it trample and that sort of thing. It was and we put a Lizard Blades on the Thundering Raiju once. It was pretty fun, regardless. So that's the deck. No edits need to be made. I hope you enjoy it. Take it for a spin on the ladder. Let me know what you think. But that's going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord community. Link is in the description. I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.